At the start of the movie, a group of teens enter an abandoned building in the middle of the city. They appear to be looking for someone very important. Just then, the building starts shaking as if an earthquake is hit. The group dashes out of the place in horror, but what they see outside sends shivers down their spines. The city, which was sprawling with life just a few minutes ago, has been laid to complete waste by a nuclear strike. It appears as if another world war has recently taken place, and for some reason, the only building that has been unaffected is the one the teens were in a while ago. As expected, the teens become scared and rush back into the building. They believe that they are hallucinating and decide to sleep there until everything is fine. 36 hours pass by, and once again, another earthquake hits the building. When the group ventures out this time, they notice a highly futuristic city, which is several hundred years more advanced than the real one. In this world, currency has become obsolete, and everything is bought via a fingerprint scan. The group is left in utter disbelief at the strange occurrences, and they finally deduce that the building can teleport them to a different version of Earth every 36 hours. Then, we are taken back to a few days ago on how it all started. Ronan is a struggling boxer, while his sister Beatrix is an aspiring university student. Both of them have been out of contact for quite some time now, but today, they separately receive a voice message from their estranged father Alex, who requests they meet him. He also mentions a certain building on 156 Prospect Street, which is revealed to be the same one from the start of the movie. Although the siblings are not thrilled to be contacted by their absent father, they still decide to meet him. At Alex's house, Beatrix and Ronan run into each other and find out that their father has been missing. They search the whole place but find nothing suspicious. Then they go to check the garage, where Beatrix's childhood friend, Harry, also shows up and decides to help them in the search. Soon, the group finds Alex's emergency bag, which has a strange ball-shaped device in it. There is also a newspaper article which reads that Bill Clinton has been assassinated. This is extremely weird as the former US president is still alive. The only person that ever did anything to Bill's ass was that sweet Hillary. A while later, the worried siblings head to the police station to report their father's disappearance. However, after hearing them out, Officer Stone mentions that he can do little to help them as they don't know if Alex has really gone missing or has voluntarily disappeared. In a last-ditch effort to ask for help, Ronan talks about the building his father had mentioned earlier, but the cop once again dismisses it, claiming that it is abandoned. With no other leads, the trio decides to go to the building. As they were told, it is abandoned. However, on the walls, they notice strange graffiti that describes alternate timelines and histories. For instance, one writing says, "On my Earth, terrorists flew planes into the Twin Towers on October 23rd, 2001. This puzzles them as the terrorists actually flew into the Twin Towers on September 11th, 2001. Another writing says, "Avoid Earth 33. The contagion has spread." While another still says, "Earth 468 is safe. Locals are friendly. No weapons." It turns out that there are many alternate universes where things happen differently. I want to go to the one where Sonic the Hedgehog is real. Suddenly, the trio hears loud thudding noises, which causes the building to shake and the lights to flicker. Frightened, they try to run out, but find themselves locked inside the building. After a while, they eventually manage to get out, but are taken aback to discover that the building has transported them to an alternate Earth devastated by nuclear blasts. Soon, they notice some pedestrians and ask for help, but instead get threatened with guns. Just then, a roving patrol shows up and shoots down the pedestrians, prompting Ronan and the others to flee back into the building. Harry, being a nerd, theorizes that there are many versions of Earth, and somehow, the building has teleported them into a different version. This also explains the strange graffiti they saw earlier. Inside the building, they meet a woman named Polly, who claims to be a traveler between worlds. She confirms Harry's doubts and explains that the building transports anyone within it to a new, random world every 36 hours. In hostile worlds such as the one in which they currently reside, she suggests that they stay inside the building and not interact with the locals. Hearing all this, the group ultimately decides to sleep to pass the time, but after a while, they're woken up by the same armed patrol that murdered the pedestrians. In the next scene, Ronan and the others are taken to a nearby settlement where they are confronted by their fearless leader. Surprisingly, he turns out to be the alternate version of Officer Stone. As the two parties talk, it's clear that the armed patrol are not aware of the existence of alternate universes. Polly decides to hide this information from them and makes up a story that they are merely confused travelers from Kansas who are heading up north. However, Harry recognizes Officer Stone from their world and thanks him for his help. This puzzles Stone, as it turns out that before this version of Earth was nuked, he was a police officer here as well. Hence, he concludes that the four are spies from a rival gang and takes them hostage. God damn it, Harry. He then orders Tinker, the local surgeon and gadget man, to interrogate them. First, Beatrix and Ronan are selected, and before their interrogation starts, Beatrix airs her personal grievances with her elder brother, calling him out for abandoning her after after their mother's death. It turns out Ronan blames himself for their mother's death and claims that he distanced himself from their family because he always ends up hurting his loved ones. Soon, Tinker shows up and starts chatting with the siblings. He appears to be the only one who is aware of the alternate universes. He reveals that this Earth was an amazing place to live until the Islamic Republic of Pakistan collapsed in '99 and its nukes found their way around the world. The bombs, which were the size of suitcases, were sold in the market, and in no time they got into the wrong hands and wrecked everything. Tinker further reveals that the man who first brought the nukes to his city came out of the building. He then shows them footage of the nuclear terrorist attack, and in a shocking turn of events, the perpetrator is revealed to be Ronan and Beatrix's dad, Alex. He is the main reason why this version of Earth was destroyed. As the siblings watch in horror, Tinker grows increasingly angry and threatens to kill them if they don't reveal their father's whereabouts. "I think he went out for milk," they say. Beatrix tries to explain that she doesn't know where Alex is, but the Gadget Man refuses to listen. For a split second, Tinker takes his eyes off of Ronan, allowing the former boxer to administer a chokehold and subdue him. Then, he breaks free from his bondage and also helps Beatrix up. Meanwhile, Tinker wakes up, desperate for revenge, and sets off his own suitcase bomb to take everyone down with him. Seeing this, Ronan once again knocks him out with a solid punch to the face. Then, the siblings quickly free their friends and rush back to the building in one of their abductors' cars. After a while, Stone learns about the bomb and orders Tinker to shut it down. However, the Gadget Man refuses to comply and reveals his plan to take the bomb to blow up the building. Before leaving, he advises his comrades to go the other way to save themselves. Elsewhere, as Ronan and the others reach halfway, their getaway car runs out of fuel, forcing them to make the rest of their journey on foot. They safely make it into the building, but so does Tinker, who has arrived outside with the bomb. Fortunately, the building transports them to the next world just in time to escape the nuclear blast. Harry is under the impression that they're finally going back home, but Polly tells him that there is no going back home and heads out. Surprisingly, this world is more technologically advanced than their version of Earth. For instance, the smartphones and laptops are all transparent. Ooh, fancy. The group assumes that they have traveled to the future, but Polly reminds them that it is just a different version of Earth in the same year. To learn more about the place, they split up, but unbeknownst to them, it's revealed that Tinker has also arrived in this world. On their way, Harry stops to buy something and learns that everyone pays with their fingerprint. The fingerprint scan reveals that in this world, Harry is a wealthy and corrupt corporate lawyer. Seconds after they leave the shop, Tinker arrives there, buys all the gadgets he can, and gets busy working on something. Turns out that he too is a wealthy guy in this world. Meanwhile, Harry and Beatrix sneak into this world's Harry's apartment and hack into his computer. Interestingly, both Harrys have the same computer password, Beatrix928. It's clear that he has a major crush on Beatrix, which she was oblivious about until now. Beatrix then looks up her dad online and learns that in this world, her father Alex died 3 months ago in an accident at work, i.e. the same building. They also find out that Beatrix went to college and Ronan didn't exist in this world. On the other hand, Ronan and Polly explore Alex's house, which turns out to be empty. He then shows her the device he found earlier, which Polly immediately recognizes. She reveals that it could only be from the core world, which is the world where the building was constructed. Polly comments that the core world must be thousands of years ahead of the real Earth in terms of technology. After a while, Ronan opens up about his troubled childhood, where he had a bad temper and often got into fights. He also reveals the reason why he blames himself for his mother's death. One day, while Ronan and his mom were driving home, he got into a fight with a trucker on the highway. His mother tried to stop the fight, but in the process, got run over by a speeding vehicle. After that, the Carver family fell apart. A grief-stricken Alex stopped working, and Beatrix had to cancel her college plans to take care of him. After finishing up his story, Ronan leads Polly to his dad's car. On searching it, they come across a bag that contains a message telling Ronan to get out of the house immediately. Suddenly, a car pulls up outside, and the same 3 men from earlier emerge, ordering Alex to come out. When no one responds, the men barge inside, but Ronan and Polly swiftly take them out. After this, the two get inside the assassin's car and flee. Meanwhile, Harry learns that his doppelganger from this world has done some very bad things. Hence, he gathers up some evidence and emails it to the media, exposing his other self brutally. Tinker finally completes working on his device, using which he can seemingly control the city's power system. He then drags the device back to the building, and soon, Ronan and Polly also show up. After a small confrontation between the two men, Tinker assumes that the caretaker of the building is hiding nearby. Hence, using his invention, he wants to hack into the building and bring out the caretaker. Just then, Harry and Beatrix also arrive arrive, and the latter threatens to kill Tinker. However, Ronan convinces her to stand down, as he too wants to find answers. With the approval from the group, Tinker finally starts his device, and this causes the building to shake violently. For a while, no one emerges, but when Tinker increases the power and threatens to destroy the building, someone comes out from the elevator. Shockingly, it is none other than Alex himself. He commends Tinker on his ability to connect with the building, and then directs him to the top floor, claiming this is where all the answers are. Once Tinker leaves, Alex tells his children that he and their mother were not born in what they perceived as their home world, much to their shock. He then instructs Ronan and Beatrix to find their mother, claiming that she is the only one who can take them back to the core world. The ball-shaped device from earlier is the key to finding her. Alex further mentions that the building has been running for a long time, and whatever its original purpose was and whoever built it are long gone. In fact, he is not the caretaker of the place, but a regular passenger who wants to find answers just like everyone else. Suddenly, Tinker arrives at the elevator, screaming at Alex for deceiving him, but before he can say anything further, he is shot and killed by the cunning old man. Alex then leaves the building despite the children pleading with him to stay. After the building transports them once again, Ronan, Beatrix, and Harry venture out to explore the new world, while Polly waits for someone. Suddenly, two more versions of Polly, who had been hiding in the building all along, show up. The movie ends as the three doppelgangers play rock, paper, scissors to determine who will accompany the rest of the group into the new world. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.